What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now, I didn't want to make a video about the Akaash Singh situation because I'm not a news channel and a ton of other channels have already made videos about the situation. So, I thought that I wouldn't really have any unique commentary to add. But, some new clips started resurfacing and this situation is just textbook red pill. So, as much as people like to dog on Akaash and like trash him and make fun of him for being a simp and everything, I think there's actually a lot that we can learn from this situation, truly. So anyways, for those of you who've been living under a rock and don't know what the situation is about, pretty much Myron and Fresh went on a podcast with Akash a while back talking about like, dating girls in their own race. And Akash was just criticizing all of their opinions. He was criticizing Myron for like not wanting to date black women. And he was basically like, trashing the red pill ideology, trashing everything they stood for. So naturally, some beef started arising, which got reignited every now and then. And then, Myron said something and Akash got triggered. He just said, my man out here getting triggered by jokes. How ironic. Well, don't worry about me, Myron. I got no issue putting a bitch in her place. And then basically he showed like a clip of him checking Myron and criticizing his ideology. And then Myron retaliated with probably the best retaliation I've ever seen. Basically just exposing Akash and his relationship. And I'm just going to show the clip so you guys can understand what exactly happened.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
What I find corny is my preference is not my women. Now, I thought it was I'm not dating my women, period, which is the corniest human being outside of a criminal to me, period.
Akash only dates brown. Akaash has been with one girl in his life who is his wife.
That's my wife. That's an
So
Indian
this
woman.
is like loyal through and through.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses.
So Akaash thought that he was married to a virgin. He thought that, both of them were on the same page. And as it turns out, his wife pretty much exposed herself for having a past, for having fun in college. And the funniest part is when she says, I was going to white boy frat houses. I just know for a fact guys like Rehab Room are gonna have a field day with that because the obsession ethnic women have with white men, it honestly needs to be studied, bro. Like it genuinely needs to be studied. And the sad thing is people think that something like this could never happen to them when in reality there's like millions of relationships that play out exactly like this. The only difference is that you don't see them online and the girl doesn't talk about it. Like she might expose herself here and there, but the guy's probably a simp, he's probably delusional, so he doesn't really know what's going on. But to think that something like this where a woman gets married and convinces the guy that she's like this traditional innocent virgin or whatever and she turns out to just have a past while he doesn't is completely common. It's a lot more common than people think. And the funniest thing about it is you really need to think to yourself like, dude, hold on. People gaslit me into thinking long-term attraction was everything. Oh, you gotta save yourself for marriage and you gotta like be a good man and attract a woman long-term and have kids because that's what it's all about. But the real black pill that nobody talks about, and this is very important, so I hope you guys internalize this, I've come to the conclusion that short-term attraction matters far more than long-term attraction. You have to ask yourself, is Akaash the kind of guy that she would have hooked up with back in college? Like, is he the kind of guy that she would have slept with or had a one-night stand with, like all these other guys that she allowed to do the same? My answer is probably not. My answer is she saw him as probably like a safety net, some easy security. She's probably the prettiest and only girl he's been with, so she knows he's gonna pedestalize her. She knows he's gonna give her everything she wants, and he's really just a means to an end for her. That's the truth. There's no like genuine connection. It's so brutal, man, but that's the thing. If you're not able to generate short-term attraction, like you will know, bro, you will know if you are actually attractive to women short-term. There's a difference between visceral primal desire and the kind of attraction that Akaash gets, right? And it's unfortunate that he wasn't able to realize this, but it is what it is.
I'm actively trying to have an orgy and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you fucking see him. His body goes crazy. His face card always slays, never declines. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband.
By the way, that's the weirdest part. She's talking about her friend's husband while she's married. And this really got me thinking, like, hold on, this guy she's talking about, like this girl's husband over here, he must be the most insane giga chad ever. He must be like 6'5", chiseled jawline, tall, insanely good looking. And I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be black pill fuel. Do I even want to look up what this guy looks like? But then when I actually saw what this guy looked like, I realized, dude, he's literally on the same looks level as Akaash. That's the craziest part about it. It's like she's glazing this girl's husband over here and saying, oh, I want to have an orgy and sleep with him. But bro, they're literally on the same looks level. So this isn't even a brutal black pill. This is like a brutal what the fuck pill.
To know that Nav's dick is like at least 10 inches.
Yeah, bro, like I don't understand what goes through Akash's mind when he hears this stuff and when he sees this stuff. Like how could you possibly rationalize this to yourself? I mean, you could look at it and say, oh yeah, I'm a comedian, I'm a male comedian, and this is my wife, she's also a comedian, and she's trying to get big on social media, so she's joking around and it's funny. But if you've been gaslit to the point where you think that this is all like a joke and it's like, oh, funny, and she doesn't actually mean it and she still loves me, dude, I'm sorry, but you're finished. Like,
okay, I have 2 butthole stories. So one time I met this guy on Tinder and I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, like not really wanting to fucking hook up. And I like woke up in the morning and like my asshole was a little sore. Oh my God.
My theory is that she never would have thought that this podcast would have blew up or these clips would have been used against her. She probably thought that this pod with her and her friend would stay in like 200, 300 views. Bro, this was the worst mistake you could have. Like, this is why you don't let girls talk freely. How many times have we seen cases like this before? Pokimane, Valkyrie, all these bitches are so stupid, bro.
And I remember that he what kind of porn do you watch when you use a vibrator?
Okay, not gonna lie, I don't watch porn while using a vibrator. What?
Bro, this girl's a giga thought, man. A product of feminism, a product of just everything wrong with modern dating. Like, she's literally I've never seen a textbook example as good as this one. Because think about how many naive guys will date a girl like this and just kind of take her word for everything. It's like, that guy who always flexes, oh, I've been married for 3 years and I love my wife and she loves me. I guarantee you guys, most guys who say this have this type of dynamic going on. It's just not public and they themselves just don't know about it. Like, people clown on Akaash because his situation went public, but just think about how many guys are in that exact same situation. At least Akaash knows. At least, like, everything is clear to him now. Well, he's probably going to get gaslit by his wife into staying in the relationship and, still giving it a chance and whatever, because that's how good women are at this stuff. If your girlfriend or wife went to a university in the West, chances are she has similar stories to this. I know it's uncomfortable to think about, but on a balance of probabilities, they've been through the ringer, they've tried, they've experimented, they've done stuff with guys. And, if you want to marry one of them, it's just something that you have to accept. The worst thing you can do is delude yourself into thinking, yeah, she's just like me. I grinded and I sacrificed dating so I can find my wife and so I can be this good Christian man with good traditional values. Yeah, she's still getting piped. She's just going to convince you that she's the same as you.
I just think my imagination is vibration enough. Wow. I'm just thinking of like my own husband while I'm like doing it.
Wait, that's kind of baller, but I could never do that.
So again, just exposing herself and disrespecting her husband at the same time. Like literally saying, oh, I could never sexually fantasize about my husband because he's not that guy. There's other guys going through my head, which makes sense if you spent most of your time at white college frat parties with a bunch of social chads. Of course, that's what your experience is going to be. But like, holy shit, man, like, this is terrible, bro. Imagine you're a guy who's like similar to Akaash in stature, in looks, in personality, in philosophy, and ideology, and then something like this happens to him. It must hit quite close to home. You must be thinking to yourself like, damn, dude, this could happen to me just as easily, bro. And that's a very scary thing.
Yeah. And so I was using you and your husband split finances. And I'm going to be really fucking honest.
I don't.
We don't.
First of all, that's a fucking red flag. I'm not like, no joke. I love you girls. If you want to work, all for that, whatever. But like, any man that doesn't want to have a joint bank account or isn't being transparent with his accounts or has separate accounts, that's a fucking red flag. This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money and my money is my money.
So a lot of people think this statement is absurd, but you have to understand in like brown and Middle Eastern culture, this is actually how most women think. If you guys have lived and dabbled in that culture or in those places, the women there do have that mindset where it's like, yeah, my money is my money, and the man provides and he pays for everything like related to the house and to me and everything. So, this is just a matter of culture. Obviously, I'm not saying that it's 100% the best way to do things, but like this is the thought process that a lot of girls from those cultures and those backgrounds have. So I'm not surprised at all. Now, if she had this mindset while actually being a virgin and actually being loyal to her husband and respecting him and all that stuff, I would be fine with that. I'd be like, well, okay, fine. The man should be the provider. But the fact that she like had her fun, hooked up with a bunch of dudes, and is using him as a means to an end, that's what really makes this statement fucking diabolical.
Okay, so I've been getting a lot of comments that I'm using my husband for clout, and yeah, that's exactly what it is. No lies were told. I am leveraging the support I have. It's kind of like nepotism, but like through my husband, so like spousal nepotism. What's wrong with that?
Spousal nepotism, aka beta provider. I mean, this is why we say it's a textbook red pill example of what to avoid. And the crazy thing is that she admits it. Like, I've never seen a girl this honest and transparent about it. Usually you'll see some kind of gaslighting or some type of manipulation to try to convince the world, and by extension convince her husband that this is in fact not what she's doing, that she actually does love him, that she was with him before the clout and before the fame. But this girl straight up just admits, yeah, it is for clout and money. Like, it's actually quite liberating to hear a girl dishonest. It's weird, man, but like, fuck. That's gotta be so brutal. And how do you hear that and stay with her? Like, what the fuck? I mean, the only explanation I have is that he's just like, he finds her so fucking attractive that he's like, man, if I leave her, no other girl at her looks level is gonna want me, and I really want a girl at her looks level.
He told me I could do anything that I wanted, and the best decision I ever made in my entire life was to marry this woman right here. His birthday is in 2 weeks, and I love you so much, and the only regret that I have is that I only got to marry you once. So I want to make a little quick announcement that we're going to get married again. We're going to renew our vows in India next year. Do you girls want to come to that? Does that sound fun? And since I am renewing my vows, I think the only thing you can do is propose again. Ghislaine Singh, will you be Ghislaine Singh forever again?
Yes!
Take that drinky thing off. Drink eating.
Did you guys know this? Yes. Oh my god. How big is this?
Big enough for you to shut up every time I tell you to.
Thank you so much.
Do you guys see that subtle cheek turn? That should immediately tell you that she's physically repulsed by him. Like, she's actually disgusted by him deep inside. And he's just an ATM, Akaash Singh, Akaash ATM. And it's just sad, bro. It's just really sad. Like, that some guys can be so naive that they don't see this. Like, if I were to go in for a kiss and a girl does this, I would immediately know something is up. I would immediately be in my head about it all day. Like, yeah, this girl doesn't like me. 100% she doesn't like me. But the fact that it didn't seem to clock in his head shows that he's probably way too used to this treatment and thinks that it's normal and just brushes it off, which is just fucked.
Different. My wife also hadn't had any sexual partners, so that helped us connect a lot more.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you believe her?
If you've seen her, then it's hard to believe. Yeah. I remember I was just like, what? But she was 22, I was 31. There was an age gap.
Yeah, this is the look of a guy who's just confused and who doesn't understand what's going on here, like the gravity of what's going on here. I can't believe she actually had him fooled this badly, despite her saying things that contradict this exact thing on multiple accounts. Obviously, she's not a virgin, dude. She even said it herself. So I don't know how you could sit there and like talk about your relationship like it's the best thing in the world when clearly it's full of holes, man. It's just, man, I don't know if I could watch any more of this shit.
Like, we both hooked up with people, we both were in relationships, and then
no, you weren't. That was just you, because he was under the impression that you were a virgin before marriage, just like him, which clearly is not the case.
And together, we both lost our virginity. So sit the down. You're like, just unfollow me. You're so annoying.
Wait! There's more!
I look good, Mr. Armstrong. Armstrong.
Yeah, bro, it's over. Like, it's actually over. What the fuck? So that's probably what he gets. He's probably in a dead bedroom marriage. You know, they probably haven't slept together in a long time. She's extracting his resources, just using him for money, using him for his clout, trying to build her own name and her own social media following so that she won't need his money in the future. And then the divorce is coming and you guys know what's next. So that's just like the textbook script, and it's so plainly obvious. You have to be an idiot to not see it for what it is. Holy shit, bro. I would actually rope. I think if this happened to me, I'd actually rope. Like, the fact that you can stay with a woman and still justify all this in your head after doing that shit, bro, like, oh my goodness.
On Saturday when I saw her, I said, Daria, do you know? And she said, I don't know anything. I don't know anything.
She's a good liar.
Then she's a good liar.
That's a friend that...
Then she's a good liar.
Lately, it's these red pill guys because I said my money, or what did I say? His money is our money and my money is my money, which is a common saying, whatever. But what I will say is, if you're not gonna be a man for fucking women, like if you're gonna say, oh, women should do this for us and we're the prize and blah, 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 at least be a man for yourselves. Whether it's Andrew Tate or these fucking red pill podcast guys, like when they tell you something, when they ask you to jump, you say how high. You're still not a man either way. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is just the highest level of gaslighting. No arguments made against the points. No real coherent sentences being strung along. It's just, oh, you're listening to red pill guys. Stop listening to them and listen to me instead so I can gaslight you more.
Like you're still a little beta boy doing whatever these men tell you.
Ah, okay, I see. So we should stop doing what these men tell us and instead do what you tell us, which is be ATM machines.
Why are you mad at us? Why are you mad if me and my husband are cool with each other, if we both make jokes at each other's expense? The difference is
that you're humiliating him and he's clearly uncomfortable with it and doesn't like it, yet he will tolerate it. He's tolerating you deep down, but it doesn't mean that he's actually happy in the relationship with you. I hope you realize that.
My husband will go on stage and say whatever the fuck he wants about me. No one has anything to say. It's like, oh my God, it's so funny, it's so relatable. But then I come on TikTok and I make jokes and now you have a fucking problem? Like, make it make sense. I'm not here for the fucking misogyny.
Here's what I'll say. I don't have icks about my wife in the sense that like everything she does is really cute to me. Do I have things that are a massive pain in my ass? Yes, absolutely. That I have. I love her. She's so adorable. When she's running 2 hours late to a dinner reservation that I worked really hard to get, and then I'm like, baby, we're running late. And she's like, are you fucking kidding me? Do you know? I don't give a fuck if we're late to this dinner. They're lucky to have us. And I'm like, oh.
It's a ring light. Dr. Chopra, what are we doing?
So Justine sustained a bruise through some physical activity at home. And we treat a lot of bruises here, bruises for many different reasons. And so we imagined a laser called the baby and the death.
Also, I heard you're single. Is that true?